Another week, another vlog. Last week I did not film. I just was not very inspired, but I also was very caught up in just the routine of things. So I obviously did all of my workouts, but didn't necessarily have a theme for the week or any type of plan for recording. This week is just going to be a few days of my life, and I was thinking in these next few days, I actually just want to be intentional about hobbies, especially hobbies that I'm not necessarily good at or that require me to kind of learn the skill. And so today, the first hobby that I'm gonna be focusing on is my DJing. DJing. I got these DJ decks maybe over a year ago, and it was a transitional period, so I started and then I stopped, and then they've kind of just followed me from place to place when we've moved. And I think maybe now is time to kind of get into the vibes of that. I think it is fun, but I just have no musical knowledge at all, and I have no ideas about what anyone is ever talking about when I watch the DJ videos. But I think I'm just gonna have to just first, I think I need to figure out the flow and the vibes and the I don't have an articulated way to say it yet, but just figuring out the flow and the vibes of how I connect with what I'm doing in terms of DJing, and then I will learn the skills as we go. Because I'm not necessarily learning to DJ to now become the next big DJ. I'm just learning because I think it could be a very fun thing to do. This week, this will probably be the most kind of challenging and more technical hobby that I'll be trying to explore. And then for the rest of the week, I'm honestly just gonna go by vibes. To be fair, I'm also planning to do some coffee, my latte art, and so that is gonna be a little bit more technical. And then I'm also planning to do some painting, but I I don't know how to draw, to sketch, anything like that, or anything like that. So when I actually paint, it's just vibes. It's like, when you watch a bunch of kindergarten students painting, it's that. And I love it for me. So I'm thinking I need to do that just to switch my brain off for a little bit. And then obviously just read my books. Yeah, glad you're here.
Your choice doesn't matter by pushing the crossfader all the way towards that deck. Next, hit play on both your decks. And notice what happens in your software. You can see visually the audio of your track playing over time, as well as where your beats hit in the form of these vertical lines. You can the lines with the red arrow indicating the start of the ball. And our goal is to manipulate the song on the
Okay, guys, I think I'm done for the day with this hobby. I started at 2 and now it's 4. So that was a solid good 2 hours of just concentrating on that. I tried to watch I tried to watch a few tutorials on YouTube, but then I realized that I was just going down the rabbit hole of tutorials. So I was like, okay, let me just stick to what my initial plan was just to vibe, but just to just to touch and play around and get into the flow of things. And once I feel more comfortable with just like playing around and being silly, then I can concentrate more on like techniques and skills, because I just feel like if I jump right into, which is my tendency is to jump right into the skills and knowing exactly how to do something, I do overwhelm myself a little bit. So that was really fun. I actually started experimenting with just like two songs, like a Beyonce song and a random song. And then I went down the rabbit hole about how to find house music. And then I realized I was going down a rabbit hole. So I was like, okay, let me just come back. So then what I did was I just downloaded a bunch of Kwaito music on my SoundCloud, and just was mixing some Cabello and Tropis and Zola 7 just to just to play around, which is actually kind of fun and made me think of my childhood. If you're South African, you know the vibes. So I was just playing around with that, and I was like, it would be so fun to just be one of those DJs that plays like old school Kwaito from back in the days. So maybe that will be the hyperfixation I go down while I'm learning how to DJ. But for now, I'm not really sure what to do now because I am quite sleepy. I didn't think this would happen, but my eyes are quite sore from looking at the laptop. So maybe I'm going to read because my Kindle is much more gentle on my eyes. So I think maybe I'm just going to read or do something else. Not sure yet. But yeah, that was really fun. So if you are someone who's wanting to learn a new hobby and you have the things that you collected for the hobby and it's just sitting there, I would encourage you to do it. So I will update you on what I do next, depending on what it is. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. Morning, guys. Morning, morning. Today's my walking day, so I'm just packing my little gym bag. I don't know if the lockers in the gym that I go to are for people with personal trainers or if they're for everyone, because the only people I've ever seen use them are the ones that have personal trainers, and everyone else who comes to the treadmill or to the gym in general usually just leaves their bags kind of on a ledge where the treadmills actually are. So I just do the same, and until someone tells me that I don't have to, I will just keep doing that because I don't want to go through the awkwardness of doing something wrong and then having to like translate everything. So I'm gonna quickly pack. I'm thinking I don't want to watch any videos when I'm on the treadmill this morning because it just seems so early to just be watching YouTube at like 9:30 in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my book. I think I have about an hour left into the whole book, so I should finish it by the time I'm off the treadmill. So I will try do that. And then I have two water bottles actually. So I have this one, the 1 liter Stanley bottle, and I recently actually started drinking from this because I obviously take creatine, but I also take my ADHD medication, which is just those two things together. It's like walking in a desert in terms of just thirst, dry mouth. It's a lot, okay? It's TMI, but it's a lot. So I thought, okay, you know what, the easiest way to track if I'm drinking enough water, which is for me right now, it's actually, now that I'm tracking it properly, it's about 2 to 3 liters of water. So hopefully that's okay. But this one has been very helpful, but it's very awkward to take to the gym because it's so big. So in the mornings, I just take this, I think it's 700 milliliters. I don't know. So I just take this one, my trusty little Owala. So I take that one, and then whatever I don't finish in here on my walk, I just transfer onto there so I can keep track. Anyway, so I do that. But yeah, got my sanitizer. And I haven't been bitten in quite a while. So I mean, it could be because I've been using the bug spray, so that's nice. But also at the same time, I don't wanna be caught slacking, and then I do get bitten because for some reason in Asia, wherever I am in Asia, the flipping mosquitoes love my skin, and so I have to be very careful because, again, because they love my skin and they love biting me, I also have like I don't know if it's an actual allergic reaction because I've never really gone to the doctor about it, but I get a very intense reaction. So it just swells and it looks like a golf ball has grown on the flipping bite, and it hurts and it's itchy and oh my gosh. So now, ever since living in different parts of Asia or traveling different parts of Asia, I am terrified. Well, specifically East Asia, Southeast Asia, because Asia's huge. Anyway, so ever since then, ever since all these mosquito bites, I'm terrified. So I always try and spray this every single morning and take it with me in the gym. Because there was one time when I went to the gym, you guys, and the mosquito bit me on my freaking eye and my neck. And then also on top of it, the mosquito bites swelling, right? They also leave a mark on me. So I look like I had a hickey from a mosquito. From a mosquito. How annoying. And then I also looked like I had a mini. Actually, no, I didn't leave a mark on my eye, but it was a mess. Anyway, so here's my little baggie, and then let's go for a walk to the gym. Come with me to walk at the gym. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Okay, hi, I'm back. I finished at the gym and I came home and just got ready for the day, and then took some time to just have some lunch and watch something. And now I need to get into what the intention of this week is doing the hobbies that are not necessarily the easiest for me, or hobbies that will actually push me to learn and to think. So that's what I'll be doing. But I just wanted to talk about when I was at the gym. I just finished my book, and it had a quote towards the end of the book that made me cry like a baby. Thank goodness I was sweating a lot, because it just made it look as if I was wiping my face and not the tears coming out of my eyes. Actually, my shoulders were shaking a lot, so people probably realized I was crying, but whatever. One thing I love about China, everyone just moves on with their life. They don't care what you're doing. Basically, it's a fable about, like, the cover of the book says, a fable on owning your life, if I'm correct. And it takes you through this journey of this man who has had the hardest things happen to him in life. And his brother asks him to deliver a package to this being, to this almost sentient being. And so he goes on this journey to deliver this box to this person, and he meets this other young man along the way, and they become friends, and they go through this journey of discovering why they need to deliver this box. And they obviously go through a lot of, both of them, especially the main character, through a lot of inner healing, inner questioning and learning about himself type of journey, and especially just like navigating this really hard thing that he went through. And towards the end, he finally, I don't know, I don't want to say it, but towards the end, he finally kind of meets who he was supposed to give the box to. And this person, this being, imparts a lot of wisdom on him, and it's a wonderful moment. But then there's this moment where it makes me want to cry just thinking about it. But there's this moment where essentially the story goes that he would have to fight this scary big dragon before he could meet who he was supposed to meet to hand over this magical box. And he finally meets this person, but he kind of questions, like, why did I not have to fight the dragon? Because the only other person who ever was able to finish this journey had to fight the dragon. And it was more the sense of, like, all the dragons that he ended up fighting were all the inner work that he basically had to do, and all the tough decisions on his journey that he had to make that revealed his true character. But the one thing that okay, I'm just gonna read it because wowzers. So he meets this being and he's just questioning a lot of things, and then this being says to him, "It's okay, my dear, we all fall. Lovingly lift yourself, embrace yourself. Look in the mirror and know that a forgotten child hides in that grown body. Just because years have gone by and you are now an adult, it does not take away the fact that you may still be vulnerable. Because your body has grown, it does not mean you are free from the effects of emotions of pain, of fear. Do not punish that child for feeling hurt. Be kind to that little underheart within you." I think that's how you pronounce it. "Tell him you love him. Tell him he is complete. Free him from blame and the burdens you have placed on him." When I tell you, the tears that rolled out of my eyes. But anyway, I just think it was such a beautiful message of how, as adults, we kind of forget that there is that inner child within us, and that a lot of how we regard ourselves, yes, comes from what people have said about us, or comes from the experiences that have been hurtful that we've had. But sometimes we forget that that inner child, no matter how big or grown we get, there's still that inner child that still needs kindness and support and being gentle with ourselves and forgiving ourselves and loving ourselves. And the one thing that was also really beautiful is, as you read it further along, they have this whole conversation, and he gets to the point where he just says, "I forgive myself." And that made me cry so much. I know I'm on my period. But like, wow, it made me cry so much because I think that is like the most difficult thing to do, and is to just forgive yourself and to treat yourself kindly. And so I just really loved it. I thought it was a really beautiful book. So if anyone's looking for a book that will help you be introspective, but also it's also very fun. The way it's written is also very fun. So it's not just deep. There are fun moments in the book too. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then I was just going to let you know my next hobby for today is doing a little bit of research for topics that are on my mind, and then also adding a fun spin to it for myself. Is these topics are topics that I kind of want to talk about in a video or some videos. Whether I release those videos or not is undetermined, but at least I've kind of done some fun research on some fun little things I want to talk about. So most of today or this time is just going to be me on Google Scholar or wherever else I can find articles or journal articles that are interesting and aligned with what I want to do research on, and maybe write some stuff down. I've got this keyboard that I'm excited to use. It's got my phone. It's got a fun sound. It's got a fun clickety clacky. So I'm gonna use that and then kind of try go. It's 1:30 now, so I'll try go until maybe 4 or 5, and then I'll get into my evening routine. So I just wanted to yabber about the book and then my plans. So I will check in later. Okay, hi guys. It's been a couple days since I've been on here, or like a day and a half actually. Yesterday I spent my day doing what I did the day before, which was doing a bunch of research and writing for my scripts and for my Substack and all those things. So that was really fun. And then I spent the rest of the day just relaxing. Today, I'm thinking I'm going to do some painting, and I have zero painting talent, okay? I'll just be doing this for vibes. And I can show you the things that the two paintings that I've actually made, and you can just tell that there's no training, there's no skill, there's no hidden talent. It's just vibe. And I have this really big canvas that I'm just going to experiment and see what happens. This morning, I did spend a lot of time just watching YouTube videos and listening to podcasts while I was playing around with my new wig. I was cutting it, styling it, just trying to figure out what to do with it and what I liked. And I actually honestly just butchered it, but it was still fun to do that. But I do think my brain needs a little bit of silence because I have been just consuming and listening to a bunch of things, and so I think I need to just sit in a little bit of quiet and do something tactile, then rest my eyes from the screens. So that's what I'm gonna do, and let's get started. Is so rainy right now. Oh my goodness. But okay, I'm just gonna go for this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going for it. Oh! You guys just saw in real time how scared I am of thunder and lightning. I was so close to the door. I don't know if I should move. I'm just gonna close the door. Ambiance, goodbye. I don't know if it's a side effect of being raised African, but I'm like deathly, deathly afraid of thunder and lightning and snakes. Like, I genuinely think, I always think I'm about to die whenever I hear thunder and lightning. So this is not a fun time for me, but I'm too lazy to move. And my very irrational thought is, I hope I don't die. So yeah, if you guys ever wanted to know more about me, that is one thing you should know, is I have the craziest, unreal fear of thunder, lightning, and snakes. Anything else? Come at me, bro. I don't care. But those two things terrify me. Anyway, I'm gonna get back into this. I think I'm painting a sunset. That's what I think I'm doing. Or sponge painting a sunset. I'm a kindergarten teacher, okay, guys? Leave me alone. Looks kind of weird on camera, but anyway. But Loki, I was just thinking, how cool would it be if I could make mountain ranges over there? But I don't know how to paint that, and I'm a little scared that if I try, I won't like it, or I will feel like I ruined it and then be really upset because I actually like the base as it is. I'm thinking I'm gonna add maybe some white so it looks more like a sky. I'm not really sure. I'm just, again, this is all just vibes. But, you know, this is where I wish my talent extended more than just vibes, was how cool it would be to have like a mountain range or some birds or something. But that comes with time, I guess. I'm not just not gonna not try. But this canvas, because I like how much the base looks, I don't want to try on yet. I do have a very small other canvas that maybe I could try on, maybe today or some other time when I feel inspired again. But this is how it's going so far. Might need to just do the borders again, like just do the border colors or something, and then call it a day. And I think I can always come back on to doing whatever else I want to do more at a later stage anyway on this canvas. So yes. So okay, these are the two paintings. I'm gonna try and make this quick because the battery of my camera is about to die. But that was one of the first paintings I tried and was experimenting with. I use sponges and I use more of the texture side of the sponge, and my husband loves that so much. I know, battery, just relax. My husband loves it so much. He puts it in his office. It's so cute. And then this one, I was experimenting with like a textured paste. Honestly, I don't even know what I was thinking, what side this is supposed to sit. I just do whatever. Anyway, those are the paintings. Obviously, I don't have an easel, so my edges are a little bit white, and so I need to fix that. So once I get an easel, I will fix that. But anyway, guys, I have to rapid fire. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Go out there and do something that makes you feel good and take care of yourself. I will see you in the next vlog. Bye bye. Okay, battery, you can die. Guys, bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.